Oh my goodness. Okay, so we're doing this again. Here, so why don't you scoot over? Oh, no. Here, just scoot over this way.
Okay. Bring my sausage and my latte.
Don't touch the camera, right? Oh my god. Okay, so we're doing this again in case you're just joining us now. Okay. So now we're seeing people popping in right away. We got a little worried because we weren't seeing comments, and we need comments and questions to keep this thing going. All right, so we're starting over. Hello. This is Amy Badlin. She's co-founder of Meet Mindful. Have you guys heard of this really cool dating app? It's kind of a new dating app. They have like a new way of thinking, and that's what I like about it. That's why I wanted to interview you. You know?
Yeah.
Because like all my single friends are all online dating. Mm-hmm. I'm not single. I haven't been single for like a long time. Like before there was online dating. You know what I mean? So I didn't have to deal with any of this stuff, but I'm fascinated by it. And they let me in, and I had like this little free account session. So I was on there last night, and I was kind of looking around. I was kind of like, wow, there's a lot of single people out there.
Did you find anyone you wanted to set your friends up with?
Well, actually, I didn't think about it that way. That's a great idea. Okay, so this is different than what's like the most popular one? Tinder, right? Isn't that what everyone does?
Tinder, Bumble is really big right now.
Okay.
Of course, there's always like Match and OkCupid, which is never going to go away.
Say hi to everybody. They're popping in.
Hey, guys.
Yep, this is Amy. Okay, so those are like the swipies, right? You like the face, you swipe. You don't like it, you swipe. You swipe them off.
Yeah.
And on, right?
Yeah. Excuse me. And one of the big things there is that you're kind of forced into making a judgment on somebody like immediately. Whereas sometimes that doesn't feel very good, right? To say, oh, like you're hot or I don't like you, right?
Because it's all based on appearance and that very first moment, right?
Right,
like,
exactly.
Yeah, the first
and there's
moment.
not usually an incentive to disclose a lot about yourself in a short profile like that. So people generally don't get an idea of who they're looking at and what's important to you. And in these days, if that's lost, then you don't have really anything to go on at all.
I think that's interesting. So what you wanted to do was create something different, something with more of a, I don't know, how would you describe it? Like mindfulness about it, right?
Yeah, so one of the things that's important to the people that are on Meet Mindful, and that ranges from people who are into health and wellness to meditation and yoga, personal development work, and any their own expressions of what living mindfully might be. And one of the things that they said that was missing is in the other experiences with other apps and sites is people looking for something really deep and authentic and really wanting to have a deeper connection with somebody rather than the superficial surface stuff. And for the people who are on Meet Mindful, like that's everything. And having shared values and shared lifestyle characteristics is like essential. So we wanted to create a place where that's everyone you knew. Or everyone on there you could trust that that's what they came to the table with, and then it's up to you to get to know, obviously, like who you're attracted to, and it seems like a good fit.
Yeah, I think that's super interesting because the trust factor is what people are missing, right? It's got to be like some people were commenting like, oh my gosh, it's dangerous to do online dating,
right.
And it's almost like it's talking about trolls or something, like people trolling, and I think
it's really scary. So that's something that we take
or
very
the catfishing.
There's so many words for it now.
Oh, okay.
And each thing is like a different version of, bad actors or scammers,
Well,
right?
how do you keep the bad guys off there?
Or
women too, it works both ways.
So, yeah,
right?
True. I mean, there can be scammy women for sure. And they show up in an interesting way.
I bet they do.
Yeah, so one of the things that, we learned very quickly was that any social network is going to be susceptible to this kind of stuff. So you have to build like stuff on the back end that our customers don't ever see. Mm-hmm. But we have a whole team, a community management team that works to make sure that our users are protected from scammers, from people who are just have bad intentions, that maybe not don't really belong on the network. And so we take action quickly in ways that doesn't really, doesn't bother our users' experience, but remove people from the network when they shouldn't be there.
Okay.
And it's something that we hear a lot from our customers where they say, everything, all the other sites and apps out there don't feel very safe. It doesn't feel like a safe space. And with Meet Mindful, it feels really different, which is awesome to hear because we've set out to create a safe space, and to hear that we've done that feels good.
Okay, I love that. Okay, so
especially with dating, it's so vulnerable.
Oh, you're
right?
already so vulnerable.
It's very scary just to put yourself out there, And in a vulnerable state, to be met with something that feels like a scary or unsafe experience is doubly awful. So we're really sensitive to that.
So I told you that I was checking it out last night.
You did?
Yeah, and I liked it. It was like pretty cool because it had a lot of different categories, and it didn't limit you to that 140 characters feel. People can really put a lot in there, so you get to know who the person is a little bit more. But one category that I thought was missing was, did I miss the job category? Because I want to know if I'm dating. I need to know, like, what's your job, dude?
Yeah. So I don't know. No. You know what's weird? That you didn't. Some people may not have filled it out. So if it's not filled out, that's not going to show up.
Okay, to me that's a warning sign, right?
What's interesting is that we launched that about a month or two ago because when we first started, we would interview people about what they wanted to see most, and we heard that having the typical what's your job?
Yeah.
Felt a little bit superficial and judgmental for people.
Oh my God, people are so sensitive.
It's so funny. But then when what we heard is that people really wanted to see that stuff. So we put it out there, and now we just have people choosing if they want answered or not. And I wonder if that was just people who hadn't had a chance to.
I don't know. I think it's interesting. The people that I was picking just for fun, none of them had jobs listed, but I was sort of like, well, what do you do? Anyway, I think this is all interesting. You bring an interesting perspective to all of this because clearly you've been working on this for a long time. You can go ahead and eat your turkey.
I know I'm going to keep eating my turkey sausage.
Hey, by the way, what was the name of the diet that you're on?
So it's less of a diet and more of just like a lifestyle. I'm going to just say that, which is really cliche.
Okay. Oh my God,
but it's called...
Diet's a bad word.
It's ketogenic. So it's
how do you spell that? Do you have any clue?
K-E-T-O.
She's smart, too.
G-E-N-I-C. So ketogenic is super high fat, low carbs. And what it does, it actually puts the body into a state where instead of using glucose, which is from sugars and carbs, to create energy, it starts to use fat to create energy. So it not only feels really good in the body, but also I sleep better, my cognitive function is better.
Well, maybe
everything
I need that.
feels better. So
I need to get on that.
It's kind of like in line with the bulletproof stuff.
Okay.
Bulletproof coffee, bulletproof diet, and
You're over my head at this point. Okay, let's get back to dating. I have one final question about the actual app. Okay, just so that people are very, very clear on what the difference is. Okay, so you have all the others. Yeah. And that's based on first impressions very quickly, right? First impressions and attractiveness and some common interests, right? Yeah. Yours is different because, and the very short reason, like why is yours different?
Yeah, well, first I would just say that the mainstream stuff is not going to be based on common interests.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. Okay. So, because the biggest thing for us is that our community is a curated community of people who are into similar things in terms of their lifestyle characteristics and the way that they live, and things that are important to them in terms of health, wellness, personal growth, spirituality, things like that.
Okay.
So the fact that when you come to Meet Mindful, you know that those are the people that you're going to find.
Do you think it's like a cut above? Like a cut above?
Absolutely.
Oh, you do?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's what we hear all the time, is that this is a super high quality group of people. I'm so excited to finally be in a place that feels like, authentic and meaningful and deep, and like I can trust it, which says a lot. So that's the biggest thing. And second thing is what you mentioned, like the longer than 140 characters type profiles, because these days, like, if all we're going on is looks, like how superficial have we gotten? So we give people the opportunity and actually invite them to disclose something a little bit more vulnerable, something deeper, like what are they interested in, what are their passions, what are their practices that they're into, and give them a chance to display that in a way that feels really fun and authentic.
Okay, so enough for you single people out there. Let's talk about us married types, okay? It's not too late
you married types.
It's not too late for us to live in have a mindful relationship, right? You might not enter it mindful, but you can still have a chance of becoming more mindful. And how would you explain that to people who are like, what are they talking about mindful? Like, can you cut to the core here? For people who are busy, they popped into our live session. Here we are. We're talking about mindful relationships with a guru right here.
Oh gosh.
So, what does that mean? And how can we live in a more mindful kind of relationship with our significant other?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, those moments where you feel like you're, whether it's when you're I'm just going to use you as an example. Okay?
Use me, yeah.
When the guy calls and he's like asking for you to pay him, and you have that like moment where
She's
you're
making
like,
all of this up.
I'm totally making it up. And you have the moment where you're like, you want to be like, ah, and act from that space of like instinct.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And like, oh crap, like I'm pissed and I just want to like go on the attack and get in, attack mode. Which of course we're not gonna like go and beat anyone up, but emotionally we feel like there's some threat, and so therefore we need to like put the guard up.
Yeah.
And act from a more instinct place, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's great. That serves us when we're running from the tigers back in the day, and like, we had to be in a space where being in fight or flight was going to help us survive, right?
Okay.
But now here we are in 2017,
Right.
and that fight or flight mode is something that we still take into our relationships all the time.
And the tigers are all locked up.
And the tigers,
they're in the zoos.
but the tigers, what happens is when we get triggered by our partner,
Right.
the tiger is our partner.
Oh.
And we can't consciously think that in the moment that, oh crap, like I'm actually feeling threatened by my partner, and that's why I'm acting this way. So mindfulness, being mindful in relationship, is taking a moment to recognize what's actually happening in the present. So, and it's most important in moments that one or two people can be triggered and angry or upset or feeling emotions that can conflict with being in a cohesive, like, heart open space with your partner.
Okay,
so
there's a bunch of questions. There's a
yeah.
bunch of questions. Okay, so I'm still at the tiger part.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so if my husband, okay, so let's say, let's make it really basic. Okay, so I asked my husband, can you stop and get some milk on the way home? Okay, let's just very simple example. Everyone can relate to this. Can you stop? I'm on the phone. Can you stop and get some milk or out of milk? Oh, yeah, sure, no problem. Okay, then fast forward, he's late, right? Because he had to work or got stuck in traffic, whatever, and then forgets the milk. And then right away you might be like, ugh, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
totally.
so that's kind of like, take me from that moment. So why is he the tiger and what am I? Am I a hunter?
So that moment of like, the reason he did that is because he's forgetful. He doesn't care about me. He was working too late because he always works too late, and I had to be stuck here with the kid and blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
All that stuff that in Buddhism it's the monkey mind that goes.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Yes.
The monkey mind that goes running.
Okay.
You can choose to either react to him with all this story that you just made up, because if I asked you 2 hours later if all that stuff was true, what would you say?
No,
Right.
that would be true.
But in the moment, this is what you're thinking. Now, you're not even thinking it. You're like feeling it instinctually, and it's upsetting.
Right.
Yeah?
Okay, so monkey mind.
Right. So when that's happening, mindfulness and being mindful in relationship is a tool where you can use it as a tool where you can say, oh, I'm feeling like super emotional right now, and let me just take a second to breathe.
Does help to breathe.
Feel my butt in the seat, feel my feet on the floor. What's actually happening in this moment?
Yes.
Am I sitting in this chair and is it sunny out and warm-ish, or am I still in the story that my husband is all these things? Because when you can come back to the present and really feel into what's actually happening, this table is wood, this latte is hot, this sausage is amazing. When you can start to feel what's actually happening in the moment, you can begin to identify the story from what's actually true. What's actually true is that he was running late and forgot the milk, and there's nothing more to it. See?
Yeah. Well, I think it's good. I think this is and scoot over just a little bit. You're like, now don't be calling in.
Does that help to kind of clarify? That's how we can be in any moment. Like when, okay, can I give another example?
Yeah.
This does not have to do with relationships, but it's going to be the same flavor. I had a 7 a.m. flight this morning out of Denver.
Yes.
Which means theoretically I should have been there at 6, right? Which, who wants to get to the airport at 6? I was late. I got in an Uber at 5:50, which is a half an hour drive.
Okay.
So I tried to check in on my phone. It won't give me my boarding pass. I get up to the thingy, and they're like, we can't print it because it's 40 minutes before it leaves.
So are you getting monkey mind?
So I start getting like, oh crap. So I'm going to miss my flight, and then I'm not going to be able to meet with Abby, and then I'm going to, like, how many flights am I going to have to wait to get on? And blah, 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 blah.
Yes.
Literally, nothing has even happened yet. I don't even know if I can get my boarding pass. I don't even know what the state of affairs is. I just could choose to go like that, or to go, all right, in this moment, now I'm waiting to talk to the agent at the gate, or agent at the, check-in thingy, and she's either going to tell me I can get on, or that I can't.
Right.
And she gave me my boarding pass, and she goes, the plane's not going to wait for you. Try to get there on time. And so I could have chosen to, bust my butt there as fast as I could and being all stressy the whole time. Or I could have just accepted that no matter what state I'm in emotionally, I'm going to get there one way or the other, and there's going to be an outcome. And what I do in this moment is not going to change that outcome.
Okay, I like this. I think
That
people
type
get it.
of-
It's this
yeah.
idea of being here now, being present.
Yep.
And you're saying that there's people out there who live more like this. Like everyone knows, okay, be here now. Try to like not get so mad over a little road rage.
Yeah.
Which we
Another great
experience.
example.
Another great example.
Yeah.
So, but in relationships, you're saying that there are people who seek out people who are like this, like-minded. They work on this. It takes work.
Absolutely. And the reason that people seek others who are doing this type of practice, and it's a practice. None of this is ever perfect, right? And even for the most enlightened people out there in the world, it's still a practice. And so it's not just like you turn on the switch and then suddenly you can do everything mindfully and perfectly. It doesn't work like that.
Right.
It's a practice.
Okay.
And the reason that people do it is it provides a depth of satisfaction and happiness and contentment in whatever you're doing in life, right? And so once you get a taste of that, going back doesn't feel as good. You wouldn't want to live when you know that there's a more content way of doing it, right? So then when you're in a relationship with somebody else who's also doing the same thing or who's taking the same approach, you're going to have that not only personal contentment, but you can potentially have the relationship contentment and all the things that can be possible from approaching relationship this way. So, if I'm always living in my head and my partner's always living in his head or her head, like, we're only going to be able to experience so much together. But if we can start to drop into our heart space and live from our hearts together, like, what is possible in relationships like that is so far and beyond what many people can even imagine.
Wow, I love that. The heart space, that really got me. I feel like I understand that. Okay, one other question that I have about people who are in relationships with children.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is all great, and the heart space is really, like, I think people can connect with that idea. But at the end of the day here, when you have children in the mix, especially like little kids running around, being all crazy, monkeys, it's hard to...
Live monkeys.
They're like live monkeys. What is a bit of advice that you would give as a relationship expert to remind parents, like, what's a tool that we can go to, like an immediate tool, like, pop the anger bubbles. My son has that one from preschool. Like, if he gets really mad, you pop the anger bubbles and it releases. Okay, so then you're not mad. What is a tool that you would give to parents when they're in that monkey-mindedness state, where they're just like, I need to relax, I need to be here now, and not be so at the kids?
So I don't have kids, first of all. I just want to say that. So I haven't had the experience of putting this into practice myself. But
we'll let you know.
I know, right? But I would ask you, why can't you do a rendition of what your son does?
What does that mean?
What if you did try that? Okay, cool. So what does that mean? So what I do when I'm feeling extremely triggered is I try to find something in my body that I can use to ground. That might be my breath. It might be my shoulders feel really good and loose and solid. Okay, if I identify something physical with the anger bubble, my stomach feels really tight and like, ugh. Okay, let me think about what that feels like, and it might start to release a little bit.
So the anger bubble is actually pretty good.
It's like a thing. It's a real thing.
Oh, it's a thing. It's not.
Well, I mean, it's not like a
scientific thing.
A scientific thing, but it's a when people feel emotions.
Yeah.
we've gotten so detached from this. When we in our human bodies feel emotions, it gets stuck somewhere in our physical body.
Okay.
So if you're really pissed or really stressed, I could ask you to calm down for a moment and identify where in your body you might be feeling that stress. And I bet you could start to tell me.
Mm-hmm.
It might be something stuck in your throat.
Mm-hmm.
It might be like deep in the pit of your stomach.
Right.
And so once we start to draw attention to awareness to that feeling in the present of what anger feels like, you can, or stress, or you can begin to let it's like what you put your attention on is what you can shift, okay? So if you start to bring awareness to it, then you can go, oh, now I can begin to relax a little bit. It doesn't change what's happening in front of you, in the house, in the schoolyard, whatever. I guess you're never in a schoolyard with your kids, but whatever. It doesn't change what's happening in front of you, but it changes how you react and interface with what's happening.
Yeah. I think this is good, and I think that one of the real reasons that I wanted to do this interview with you is because you want to live like this. You know it's the right way. And I mean, I don't want to be all judgy, but it does feel good when you're operating in the present. And you are able to remain calm in a very stressful situation instead of just getting all mad. And I love that it can trickle into a relationship. So the idea that your dating app, Meet Mindful, I think it's a good idea, because then what you have is like you're finding other people who are not so quick to get angry. You're finding other people who are at least challenging themselves to say, okay, let's keep this calm, let's work this out. And that would be a nice way to approach a relationship. Because I'll tell you from experience, if I had a relationship with my husband where he was quick to, like if he was a hothead, there's no way this relationship could work. There's just no way.
So one of the things people say all the time on Meet Mindful is I'm so happy to be around others or to have found somebody that's willing to put in the work.
Okay. And you're not going to find that on these other sites, I don't think.
It's few and far between. It's few and far between. And what that means is, like, and you just pointed it out, like, any relationship is going to take work. It's never going to be perfect, right? But if you are in it with somebody who knows that that approach to work is just always going to be some form of personal evolution and growth, and approaching it that way instead of like, this is how I am and just love me or not. Like, you can't do much with that, right?
Right.
Even the body language is like,
yeah.
So you're lucky that you have somebody that's willing to do some work with you when it gets hard. And it doesn't mean that you have to be meditating every day in order to do this stuff. But I would say that for people who want to get into this stuff and seeing ways that you could practice living a little bit more mindfully, being in a relationship with your partner more mindfully, or your kids, or just yourself, there are there are ways that you can try it on, like Headspace is a great example. It's a meditation app that makes meditation really accessible and easy, and you could do 5 or 10 minutes a day. Headspace.
Okay, so people can check this out. That's cool.
Yeah, it walks you through really basic. Yeah, my favorite meditation app is called Insight Timer, and Insight is INSIGHT. An Insight Timer will give you like basic meditation, beginner's meditation, 5-minute meditation, go to sleep meditation, wake up happy meditation, like anything you're looking for. It'll give you a way to do it in a guided way instead of being like, oh, I had to just stop my brain from thinking, which no one can do that. That's not the point, and I think that's a misnomer with meditation. So meditation is one really simple tool that will help people have a little bit easier to access that stopping and being in the moment thing.
Well, this has been so much fun,
I
and I really appreciate you kind of dipping in and like really kind of diving deeper, and explaining what this means, because it is, it's kind of trendy. It's kind of one of those buzzwords. It's like, oh, mindfulness. It sounds cool, but there's a lot of history here, you guys. A lot of history she's tapping into to have this, and you feel like you live this mindful life.
I mean, I do my best. I'm certainly not perfect at it. I do my best, and I know that the times where I'm most dedicated to taking care of myself, which is another big thing for parents too, like take care of yourself first, right? Put the oxygen mask on you before your kids. And the more I practice self-care, the more I can show up and live in the ways I want to live. If I'm running around, not getting sleep and not eating well and like not taking time to reflect and just go, I'm going to be in a place where I don't want to be. And so,
well, I think I hope that people, I hope that people kind of got something from this, because
hope so,
I feel
too.
like I did. You know, especially because when I showed up today, I was all like, "Ooh," you know, and I got people calling me, and I've got to try to figure this out. And by the way, but now I feel better.
You're calmer now. I can see it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still
Yeah.
kind of, I'm a tad hyper, but you know, it's okay. It's okay. Real quick, I wanted to thank Greenleaf for letting us give us this space. This is amazing.
It's beautiful.
Look around here. Oh my gosh. So we're in Venice. We're at Greenleaf, and the food's great. The coffee's terrific. I mean, I'm on decaf. Sort of.
No, it's
I think my
fabulous.
mom's
I'm
like-
happy.
Anyway.
I think there's fennel in this sausage.
Oh my god, there is fennel. I
Yeah.
saw that. It looks so good. It smells so good. I might steal that sausage in a minute. Anyway, thank you so much. You guys, we would love if you could share this, okay? We want other people to understand what mindful relationships are all about. Amy is such an expert, and you gave us a lot of good advice. I
I
appreciate
hope
that.
it was helpful. I
And
do.
the dating app, Meet Mindful, check
Yep.
it out. There's a
Well-
lot of people, 300,000 people who are already on it.
And growing.
And
Yep.
growing.
So meetmindful.com, or you can go on the App Store and download it for iOS.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Also, please press the like button and the follow button on Abby Live so I can keep doing these videos. I need to know that you guys are into them and having fun with it. So, yeah, have a wonderful day. We'll talk to you real soon.
Thanks for
I'm going to
joining.
have you wave while I go turn this off, okay?